Alright, YouTube. So I'm gonna do a little rant. I don't know if it's really gonna be a rant, more of a just a fact here. Um, so I watched The Sandlot recently for the first time since I was like a kid, and the scene where Benny puts on the black PF Flyers. I always wanted a pair of PF Flyers as a kid, but I knew that they didn't exist back then when I was a kid because the company went down under. But then I watched it about a week and a half ago, and I was like, I wonder if it's still around or if it came back or anything. It turns out that they did. That New Balance bought the PF Flyer company way back in like 2003 or something like that, and they've been making PF Flyers ever since and selling them ever since. Converse, on the other hand, back in 2003 was also bought by Nike, and from what I can tell and what I've seen from other videos, is that the quality of Chuck Taylors, specifically these, the Chuck Taylors in general, the quality of them just just went down like immensely. And I didn't really pay attention to the quality, but I've gotten older and I realized that quality matters. It's not quantity, it's quality. And so I've owned these for about a year, and I didn't really wear them last year. I bought them, I wore them a few times, and that was about it. But I started wearing them a lot recently, and I put some shoe glue on here. But the reason the shoe glue is there is because when you flex, when you're walking, you flex, and this part right here came off the shoe, and I was only wearing them for like a week, and it was already ripping right here. And it's the same with the other pair. Where's the other shoe? I just had the other shoe. My room's really messy right now, so I don't want you to see my messy room. But it's the same for the other. It's the same for the other shoe, too. And it's already ripping apart on both of the shoes. I've always liked Chuck Taylors. I'm not even gonna lie. I always thought that Chuck Taylors they look cooler with age and everything, and they kind of have like a staple in American culture of like rock and punk, and they're just connected through American culture and everything. So they have like that icon with it, but that doesn't mean the quality of them is good. These will probably last me a year, maybe even less. Like I've only been wearing them a week, and this thing's already like pretty worn down. Like this right here, the heel, which is kind of normal shoes, but it shouldn't wear down that much that quick. And I don't really drag my feet for the most part. And another thing I was wondering when I was looking at my shoes is I was wondering why the bottom of Converses always have that fuzz. So I Googled it, and when they buy materials for Converse, they buy it with felt on the bottom because it's cheaper tax-wise to buy the felt bottoms than it is to buy plastic bottoms because it's classified as slipper material, which is cheaper. So technically, we're pretty much getting ripped off when we buy these shoes because the quality of them isn't that good. And it's seen from there and from the felt thing. Now, I can't really say much about PF Flyers and the quality because I just got these in today. But these are pretty much new in the sense of wear. Like I only wore them a few times when I first bought them, and then winter season came. I wore boots a lot, and I just kept wearing boots. And then I went back to sneakers recently, because they're just easier to put on in the morning, and they're just easier to wear and put on. And then this right here started to rip, and all that stuff. So I got curious about PF Flyers, so I bought a pair of PF Flyers because I was reading that the quality of PF Flyers, although they're not made in America like they used to be, the quality is far more better, and there's better support on your foot because of the wedge. The magic wedge is the little bump that they have inside the shoe that gives you better arch support. And right off the bat, I put these on, I laced them up, and I noticed right away the hold of my foot is better. And I can't really say it's going to be like that forever because they're going to wear down over time, and I'm going to break them in. But I noticed right off the bat, like the solid feel of the shoe feels a lot more supportive than the Chuck Taylors. But like I said, these are brand new, and I'll probably give another review when I've worn these for a while. But one thing that I noticed about the Chuck Taylors is that the label is glued on. That stitching, that's fake stitching. They're not really sewed. They're not. It's not sewed on. It's glued on. $60 for a pair of these. Well, in New York, at least, because of tax and everything. This is glued on. I could rip it off if I want to, if I felt like it, probably. But it's glued on. It's not sewed on. $60 for a pair of those. These right here are $60 off the PF Flyers website. $60. The logo, the PF Flyer logo, is legitimately sewed on. That's legit stitching right there. And you can see the stitching on the inside. And the same goes for the other shoe. It's the other PF Flyer. It's sewed on. You can see it. It's sewed on. So, Nike, being who Nike is, and I'm having a gripe for Nike, because another thing I have against Nike is that I spent $100 on these Metcon 4s for the gym, and they're really good. They do the job, but they squeak like crazy. Like, they just constantly squeak because the material doesn't agree with the other material, and they just squeak like crazy. Look, I'm just pushing my finger on the sole, and it's making it squeak. So Nike's charging you $100 for shoes that squeak, and for shoes that are poorly made like this. But on the other hand, you got PF Flyer, owned by New Balance, which, by the way, New Balance makes their shoes in America. These aren't even made in America, and the quality is far more better than what Nike has to offer. Now, don't get me wrong, the Metcon 4s are a good shoe for weight training. They have good grip, they offer good support when you're doing heavy weight and all that stuff, but they squeak like crazy. And I don't really mind the squeaking, but when you're paying $100+ for a pair of shoes, they shouldn't squeak. And with Nike owning all this stuff, they're doing quality over quantity. PF Flyer, man, I'm going to be wearing PF Flyers. I'm going to be wearing PF Flyers for a while if these hold up. Because I'm done paying for cheap product where the product just breaks down. And to prove that I care about quality is that I own a pair of freaking Red Wings. I wear these as often as I can when they're needed. I wear them when it snows. I wear them for casual stuff. I wear these a lot. And $400, close enough to $400 for a boot. But this boot's going to last me a long time. This shoe ain't going to last me as long as the Red Wing. Guarantee it. like for real. And when it comes to quality, I got a pair of Alden 405s. These are expensive boots. But this quality, handmade. I'm done paying for all this cheap stuff. Because these companies pump out these cheap stuff and you just have to keep going buying more. Same with stinking iPhones and everything. Like, this is just ridiculous. I'm getting mad, man. I'm so glad I bought a pair of these because even though they're not made in America, the quality is so much better because the company actually gives a crap about what you're putting on your feet. And like, no wonder people these days have a lot of foot injuries and crap. And like shin splints and stuff. Because the foot stuff isn't good. So, this is just the food for thought here. Like, if you're considering buying PF Flyers because you want to switch from Converse to PF Flyer, go ahead and do it. Like, do yourself a favor and buy a pair of PF Flyers. Because I'm tired of Nike buying all these companies and just ruining them. Man, a pair of American-made Converses, made in USA Converses, back from the 90s and whatever, are worth hundreds of dollars because they're so rare, and the quality build is so much better. I saw a video of a dude, he had a pair of red Converses from the 90s, and they're still in better condition than the new Converses he bought. It's ridiculous. And when it comes to PF Flyers, they actually have a shoe that's actually made in America. It costs about $130, but it's handmade, and it has leather interior, and it's just, the quality is amazing from what I've read. So, do yourself a favor, don't buy Converses anymore. Don't support Nike. Even though I own a pair of Nikes. Because I thought, it's a good shoe. Like, don't get me wrong, the Metcon 4 is a good shoe. But it's a squeaking. It's like, you pay that amount of money, it shouldn't squeak. But it's a good shoe. So, they do make good shoes. Like Nike alone, they make decent shoes, for the most part. But Converse, they're just selling those because they know hipsters like me will buy them, thinking they look cool, but in reality, you're just wasting a stupid amount of money for a shoe that's probably made for like $5. This shoe is quality. Like, it's sewed on. It's sewed on. That ain't sewed on. Jeez, man. I'm tired of this stupid, cheap stuff. It's only a matter of time till Levi jeans starts losing its quality because it's made in somewhere else, man. All right, I'm going to go because I'm about to have dinner. It's 5 o'clock. All right, see you later.